One of the consistent trouble spots we see with SUP surfers at all levels that join our SUP camps in Costa Rica is consistently keeping your feet centered on the board, particularly when catching that first wave. So here's what we're talking about. I'm going to try to make a line here right through the center of basically the center line. And these boards are nice because they've got the deck pad is divided in colors, the gray and the white, so it's easy to see. But you can see the SUP surfer here has his left foot way over on the left rail and the right foot is back and it's over towards the right rail. And so what that's going to do is that's going to affect stability. So as we watch the surfer continue on here, you're going to notice the side-to-side wobble that happens when you get that acceleration down the drop. And it's very easy to lose balance. And there's some other stuff going on there with the hips and closing your feet off. But what we're really looking for is this right here. Move it forward a bit. And you can see how nicely centered those feet are right over the center line. And so at all levels, whether you're catching your first wave or you're advanced, what's very key on the drop is to keep your feet centered on the board. And look how nice and smooth the surfer drops down into that wave. Very calm, very centered, and very relaxed, versus kind of that side-to-side wobble that you get when you're not perfectly centered. And so catching those first waves can be tricky. There's a lot going on. One of the important things to keep in mind as you catch the oncoming wave is to keep your feet centered as you transition to surf stance. And here in these first few SUP surfers, you can notice here how the boards are a bit wobbly. And here again is another good example of nice crouched low position, pretty close to centered. But notice that front foot. There's some other stuff going on here with hips being closed off that we won't talk about here. But notice that front foot is a bit, the heel's a bit lifted up, weight's nice and shifted down, nice low center of gravity. What that's going to do is that's going to start affecting our ability to turn the board. And so no matter what level you're at, whether you're catching your first waves or you're more advanced, what's key is to be centered. So here we see an emerging SUP surfer dropping in on the wave. You can see here his feet are nice and centered. Just throw a line here for visual reference. And the drop is very, very smooth as he comes down. Here again we can see it a little more advanced, but you can see as I slide it over, nicely centered over the middle of the board. And again, a little more advanced SUP surfer coming in to make the drop, nicely centered over the middle of the board, and everything comes down nice and smooth, and you're able to set up for a little bottom turn, re-entry off the top, and have the most success when trying to catch those waves. So thanks for joining us. A little simple tip about being centered over your board for balance and stability. Hope it helps, and enjoy yourself out on the water.